Hey everyone, welcome back. Let's talk some baseball. It is upon us. The ALDS kicks off today. We have 4 games. We're going to break them all down for you guys right here on the program. Welcome to TBM. If you're new to the channel, awesome. Make sure you guys all like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button, and let's talk some baseball, okay? Welcome, and let's get it going. We have an exciting day. A lot of college football, a great UFC matchup with Alex Pereira going on later on in the early hours of Sunday. That'll be probably going down. So I'm going to be locked. I've been up since 4 o'clock, crunching numbers, and got all my picks in, ready to roll for this exciting sports slate we have on October 5th. So let's get into the first game we're going to be talking about, and I don't really quite care what you call them, Guardians, Indians. For me, it's always going to be the Tribe, so this is going to be something where it is going to be a little bit of a homer pick, but we're going to get down into exactly where I stand and how I look at this game between the Tigers and the Guardians. That'll be the first one that we do kick off, and we are going to dive into Outlier to do so, okay? So right now we see a money line price of minus 145. Cleveland has a run line value of plus 150, and the over-under is set at 7 for this game. This is going to be an interesting kind of way that the Tigers approach this game. Being a 5-game series, the Tigers have the ability to roll out skew ball for 2 games in this 5 games. So if you do like betting series prices and you do favor the Tigers at plus money to win the series is a very, very favorable kind of outcome. We do historically see a little bit of rust for these teams that have had a wild card bye historically. That allows for a lot of variance, a lot of long shots to come in, make the AL NLCS and have the chance to play for a World Series title later on in the month. But we're going to talk about this matchup. Let's break it down. We could see kind of where the public's at. There's a lot of the money on Cleveland, and that's exactly where I'm going to be at. There's a little bit more trendiness that needs to be for the Tigers in this spot. If we look at kind of the matchup between both of these clubs, okay, and BB is going against the Tigers here. We have Tyler Holton. They're going to get a weird kind of like little bullpen staffing day. They did this against the Astros in Game 2, and it actually worked. But this is something where it's kind of a rivalry between Detroit and Cleveland. And BB against the Tigers this year, 1-1 with a 4.5 ERA in 4 starts against the Tigers. This is where I think that they're going to be fired up. I can tell you guys this. With the Ohio State game being at 3:30, the Cleveland Stadium is going to be really raucous. It's going to be basically a pregame tailgate kind of environment. So if you guys are watching this game, I will tell you that this will be probably one of the more exciting home fields that we do see in the postseason. This is something where we looked at kind of what what Skewball is able to do, kind of segueing into Game 2. He's been very effective against the Guardians, shutout innings, so that kind of lends towards the argument for the Tigers in the series, especially if he goes in Game 5 as well. But for me, guys, it's Guardians in Game 1. They need to win this. They know that they face Skewball next. There's going to be a little bit more added pressure, and we kind of look into kind of the insights in this spot, and I'll break it down for you guys. We have kind of an interesting thing here within Tanner Beebe, okay? He's given up 1.5 earned runs in 4 of his last 5 games. So there will be kind of a little bit more expectation of runs. The Detroit Tigers, they have been putting the bat on the ball and kind of plating runs, playing baseball the way it's supposed to be played, right? Station to station, executing with runners in scoring position, and really being effective on the back end with their pitching and their bullpen. But if you look at Cleveland, historically, I know the Cy Young goes to a starter. We haven't really seen one since Gagne, but this is where, you could really make the argument for what Clase has been able to do. If Cleveland gets the game in their hands and they get the lead late, I find it very hard for the Tigers to scrape their way back into it. So as long as we get some runs from Cleveland and we do get the early lead, I think that Cleveland shuts the door in this matchup, okay? Also, this is something where you kind of look at Jose Ramirez. He hasn't really done well in the postseason historically. So one other argument to lend to, but I do think that trend bucks today. I do think that we're going to get a great offensive output by Cleveland. And we can look at the matchup a little bit deeper. Look at BB here. Like I said, 12-8 on the season, 1-1 against Detroit. And we look at kind of the walks plus hits per innings pitch. That's a great number against Detroit. It's 1.05, so a little bit more value than you would expect. We look at conversely. There's really no argument we're going to make for Detroit here because of just the sole reason that they're going to staff this game. But the biggest thing right here, guys, is the fact that we do see a lot of the betting steam is on the Indians here. So I will be taking Cleveland here in this spot, minus 145 as a best bet. Okay. Next bet we're going to get into, we are going to look into the New York Mets. They're going to take their heroics to the city of brotherly love. Okay, Mets, Phillies. I'm going to be taking the Phils. We're going to take the Hobos here, minus 1.5. Plus 125 is the best number that I got. We're going to play that. That's plus 125 price at Bet365. Phillies at home, they've been always effective. They usually win this game pretty much with ease. I do think that the Mets have a lot of steam, and there's a lot of magic going, but this is something where Kodai Senga is pitching for the Mets. This is more so a fade against him. He's coming off of an injury. He hasn't pitched. This is kind of a questionable decision by what we see within that Mets management. And for me, Zach Wheeler has kind of been on a 2.23 ERA in his last 5 starts. This is something where it bolsters his 10-3 record. And for me, where the Mets travel, they play a short spot. I definitely think that this is something that lends towards Phillies. As long as they hit the baseball, I think the Phillies cash this minus 1.5. So that will be one of my best bets for this matchup. You look at the money; it's kind of all spread on the Mets plus 1.5. But we do get more of that Phillies love on the money line. Okay, and a little bit of lean towards the over in terms of runs. So that's kind of where I'm at in this matchup. But I'll be taking the Phillies minus 1.5. Okay. Next game on the odds board is Kansas City and the likes of the New York Yankees. Full disclosure, I will not be betting this game. I think the price is too high, minus 200. If I was going to bet this, I would lean towards taking Kansas City plus a half run for the first 5. Garrett Cole should be able to be effective in the spot. What Bobby Witt's going to be able to do in the postseason, this has been pretty fantastic. The pitching against the Orioles has been lights out, but Michael Wacha's going, and Michael Wacha is a pitcher that is very familiar to the New York Yankees. In this matchup, I just think that it's going to be a little bit too much for the Royals at home against the Yankees. I'm hoping for kind of a slower start, a little kind of weird one where Kansas City might be able to squeak out a run or two in the first 5. That's kind of where I would lean towards the first 5 plus a half a run. But Garrett Cole has had some numbers that do outweigh the likes of Michael Wacha. So we look for, the pitching advantage definitely going to New York. But this is a minus $2 price. I'm not going to lay that with New York, and I don't trust them on the run line at plus 110. So this is something where off a layoff, I just don't really trust the Yankees in game 1. So I'm going to stay away from this game. No bet for me. However, there is an overwhelmingly a betting split that does favor the Yankees, where a lot of the money seems to be on the Yanks in this matchup. Okay. And then the last game on the card that we're going to talk about, this is the Padres and the likes of the Los Angeles Dodgers. I'm going to be a contrarian in this game, whatever you want to call it. I love the Dodgers in the postseason. I think this is something where we do get them, quite frankly, in the spot to really play well. And we look at this number here, we will get a minus 135 price on the money line, and that's exactly what I'm going to take. It's really hard to bet against the Padres, but this is something where you have to look at kind of what Dylan Cease is able to do. He's been absolutely historic since that no-hitter, but I do see some regression. He's had a .96 whip in the month of September, and the Padres may be that best team in baseball. So for all you guys with futures tickets with the Padres, if you did listen to the program and you were able to lock in a futures ticket with the Padres, congrats. However, Joe Musgrove being out for the duration of the season, that's definitely going to hurt their chances as their rotation definitely takes a hit. Okay, we do look at the season series. We see the Padres have won 8 out of their last 13 games against the Dodgers, but more so in this game, you have to look at kind of the Dodgers at home. They've won 24 of their last 34 games at home. That's almost 71%. So I do like the Dodgers here in the spot. I also kind of favor the over. If you want to look at 7.5, I kind of favor the over. That's hit 12 out of their last 17 in their last 17 games as a favorite. So for me, guys, this is a Padres fade. I think Dylan Cease may get a little beat up here. We'll look at the matchup a little bit deeper, and I'll tell you guys exactly what's going down. Dylan Cease we look at kind of his record against the Dodgers. He's 1-0, 3.38 ERA per 9, but I do not favor the walks plus hit per innings pitched. That number is definitely in favor of the Dodgers. So I do look for Dylan Cease maybe to have some regression. I do think the Padres plate some runs. Kind of questioning decision for the Dodgers to roll out Yamamoto. He did not pitch well against the Padres in his one outing where he had an 0-1 record, where he did have 12 earned runs per 9 in that contest in 6 innings pitched. So for me, guys, this would be a lean towards the over, but I am going to grab the Dodgers here, minus 135 on the money line, and probably a very strong lean towards the over in this matchup. So that'll wrap it up. Those are my best bets for these 4 games in major leagues. Hope you guys all have great luck and cash some tickets. This is one where it's going to be a fun one. Really excited for the ALDS to kick off, and we have 4 great games to go today that are going today amid all the college football action. So it's going to be a fun one. Stay tuned for more. We'll have a video tomorrow going over tomorrow's action. If you guys haven't done so, please subscribe to the channel, smash that like button, and we'll see you guys all over on the Discord. Cheers.